Hello, and thank you for joining me for a longer practice today. Today is going to be all about balance. So not just on our mat, but hopefully off the mat as well. It's so much more in life when we find gratitude and peace in the moment, rather than always in the moment of wanting more and being ungrateful. You can create so much anxiety if you're in that futuristic mindset all the time. I know for me, it's as simple as catching it. So I can all of a sudden be telling myself, I need to get the dishes done. I need to clean up this. The kids are making such a mess. How am I going to find peace in all of this mess? And then I start cleaning. But in all actuality, I could still have peace in that moment. I just had to turn it and look at it a different way. So sometimes when you catch yourself, when your mind starts to race and you feel that wanting more, just take a breath. Take one with me right now. Nice big inhale. Full and complete exhale. And then ask yourself how you can look at it differently. So in that moment of finding myself that I need to clean to get that peace, I take a breath and I realize I already have the peace that is inside of me. The outside environment might look chaotic, but I don't have to be. So once I find my peace, I can clean and go on in peace. I actually don't even need to clean sometimes. Sometimes I can just have fun with the kids and not worry about the mess. Other times, again, it's finding that balance. You do need to clean, but you don't need to clean with that anxiety, with that tension. Let it go. Find your breath. Find gratitude. So go ahead. We're going to start to practice by lying down today. Get there nice and slow. You can keep your knees up here. And just put one hand on the chest and one on the belly, letting the shoulder blades roll down the back and knees can come in to support one another. Again, I want you to close your eyes to tune inward with your breath. Before we manipulate it, just take the time. Where do you feel your breath today? Do you feel it in the chest, in your belly, side body or back? Nothing right or wrong, just taking this time to note it. When you're ready, we're going to manipulate the breath. Nice big inhale. Let the hand on the belly rise first with the breath. And then at the end, you'll feel the chest rise with the hand on the chest. Exhale, again, letting the chest come down first this time. And then the belly. Again, inhale, belly comes up first, drawing the air down. And then let it rise up to the chest. Exhale, the chest drops down first. And then the belly. So again, inhale, think of the belly coming down and up first. And then the chest. Exhale, chest drops down first. And then the belly. Trying to relax the face. It might be hard to do this in the beginning because you're not used to manipulating and controlling the breath. But once you can control the breath with ease, you'll find that you can control a lot of your mindset and your thinking too, once you can slow it down. So one more time, inhale, belly rises and then the chest. Exhale, chest falls, and then the belly comes down. Good. Slowly you can open your eyes. And we're going to bring the right knee into the chest for a nice stretch. Let the tailbone start to come down. Shoulder blades again relax down the back. And just letting the stretch be passive for a little bit. Finding one more big breath. With your exhale, releasing any tension. And this time, I want you to start making the stretch active by flexing through that right foot. Really pulling the knee into the chest here with your arms. And now engage that core by, again, just thinking of tightening the muscles. And you'll notice if you did it right, your low back should be flat or tight against the mat. So stay here for a couple breaths. Engaging the core, feeling a nice massage on that low back as it's pushing down into the mat. One more breath. And this time you can stay here or activate that grounded leg, the left one, by just pushing down a little bit on the floor. It's only going to lift your hips up maybe a half an inch or so. Nothing crazy. It'll just send some pressure more into the mid-back now. It should feel good. A little massage. If it doesn't feel good, please don't go there. Try something else. One more breath. And we're going to move with our breath. Exhale, release the hips down. Inhale, send tension again, activation, lift them up. Once more, exhale down. Inhale. Good. Exhale to come down. Keeping your knee into the chest, we're going to start to bring the left leg up. Leading with the heel all the way to the ceiling. Notice if you can straighten your leg or maybe your hamstrings are tight and it's bent. It doesn't matter if it's bent or straight. Go where it feels good. You just don't want to ever feel anything behind the knee. If you feel it behind the knee, bend the knee a little bit. And we're going to, again, engage that core. So you're really going to feel your low back touching the mat. And then start to let the left leg drop down ever so slowly to notice if your low back lifts up. If it lifts up, stay right there and then inhale, bring it back up. Exhale down. Again, only going as far as you can without that low back lifting up. Inhales up. 2 more with your breath. Leading with the heel, active in the leg and the core. Relaxing through the jaw and the shoulders down the back. Good. Slowly bring both knees into the chest and just rock it side to side. Then when you're ready, we're going to do the same thing on the other leg. So the right foot is going to ground down, pulling the left knee into the chest as much as you can. You can relax here, just letting it be passive. You can wiggle out the head, the hips, whatever you need to relax. One more breath. And then when you're ready, we're going to activate it with our next inhale, flexing through the foot, pulling the knee in, and engaging the core. When you engage the core, again, feel your back, that low back should be flush with the mat. One more breath, relaxing through the face. And then when you're ready, push into that right foot and start to lift the hips just enough to move the pressure from the low back to the mid back for a different massage. Exhale, lowering the hips down. Inhale up. Exhale down. One more. Good. Still holding onto your knee. Your left leg is going to go, right leg that is going to straighten and go up to the ceiling. Again, lead with that heel, feeling a nice stretch on the back of the leg. Shoulder blades down the back yet. And then when you're ready with your exhale, engage that core so the back's against the mat and start to lower the leg down only until you feel your low back starting to peel up. And then inhale, bring it up. Move with your breath. Exhale down. Inhales up. Exhale down. Inhales up. You'll notice I like to close my eyes a lot when I practice yoga. That just helps me tune inward a little bit more, creating a little bit more peace and center in myself. Slowly bring the knees back into the chest and rock it side to side once more. Good. And then from here, go ahead and bring the feet down to the mat, keeping that right leg up, send the left one down. So for balance, physical balance, we take a lot from the core and the hips to help make the balance happen. So we're going to work with the hips a little bit by bringing that right leg up just for a deeper stretch here. And then when you're ready, your left arm is going to go out and start to guide your right leg out to the side. Notice if your hips come up. The main thing is I want your hips to stay neutral and on the mat. If they ever start to pop up, don't go that far because now you're twisting from the back rather than opening up the hips. So just see where they're at. And if you're able to, you can start to straighten out the leg. And go ahead and use your right hand for support to ground down your shoulder blades. We're going to start to move with our breath. Inhale. You're going to bring the leg on up and cross it over to midline with the exhale. Again, your hips this time will start to come up, but notice if your shoulder blades comes up. You really want to keep grounded through the shoulder blades. And then when you're ready, we're going to inhale. Leg is going to come back over. And with your exhale, sweep it down by the other one. We're going to do that again. Inhale up to the side. Exhale over. Inhale up. Exhale down. A couple more times. Inhale up. Hips stay centered. Exhale, cross over. The hips can move up. Just shoulder blades stay on the ground. Inhale up and over. Exhale down. Once more, you can close your eyes if you would like. Inhales up. Exhale over. Inhale up. Exhale down. Good. We'll let it rest. And we're going to do the left leg this time. So again, just bring it into the chest. And bend it for a nice stretch here. Really lengthen through that right heel, setting that out. Trying to get your low back on the mat yet if you can. And then when you're ready, that right hand's going to go out and the left hand guides the left leg open. Again, notice if your hips come off the ground, try to keep them level with the mat. Same thing, you can always just stay here. If this is enough in the hips, always you can start to straighten it. I'm going to have it bend just to show you what it would look like. With your exhale, you're going to start to glide it over to the right side. Again, for those that want the straight leg, keep it straight. You can keep it bent. Main thing, again, you want your shoulder blades both flat on the mat. So only go as far as you can without the shoulder blade lifting. And then slowly, with your inhale, you're going to start to come back up. Exhale, bring it down by the other leg. Inhale up. Exhale over. Let the hips come up, but the shoulder blades stay down. Inhale up. Exhale over. Inhale, come up. Exhale, send it across the body. Inhale up. Exhale, it comes down. One more time with your breath. Inhale up. Exhale over. Inhale up. Exhale down. Good. Slowly bring the knees up to the ceiling. Let your tailbone start to tuck, flatten out the back again. And let the hips open up here. You can use your hands to push against the tops of the legs and just elongate the spine a little bit. We're doing a lot of work in the core and the back, the hips. Time to reset it all with your breath again. Nice big inhales. Full and complete exhales. Once more. Feel the belly rise. Exhale, let it fall. Slowly lift the knees back up. And this time, the left leg's going to go out straight, and the right leg's going to start to come up. You can, again, ground through the, ground through the hands in the T position and start to straighten your right leg. Now, when you're ready, you're going to start to lift up the left leg. Right now, notice if your back is flat against the mat. If it is not, you're going to compromise your back, and you're going to use your back muscles rather than your core. So if that's the case and you can't get your back flat, I encourage you to take a pillow or a bolster, something to put it underneath your hips. Here, I'm going to show you what it looks like. So you're going to take something and put it underneath your hips here so that your back can start to curve in the direction it's supposed to. So you're going to look like this if you have the pillow underneath you. And if you don't, you're going to look like this. So while one's extended, the left leg is extended, the right one's up, you're going to start to come towards midline, so cross them over. And then when you're ready, cross it out to open up into a straddle and bring it to the other side. Come to midline. Inhale, open up. Exhale, let it cross. Inhale, open up. Exhale, let it cross. Again, engage that core so your low back is tight against the mat. Stabilizing the hips. Once more. The right leg should be on top. And you're going to come and cross, have the knees stacked on top of one another. And just pull them in towards the chest. You can rock it side to side. And then from here, depending on your flexibility again, you can just keep the knees stacked like this. Or if you can do eagle legs, you can wrap them. It's not necessary to do the eagle legs, especially if you get knee pain by doing this, please don't. It's just another variation that you can do. And then for the arms, so right leg's on top, we're gonna have the right leg or arm go down. And same thing, depending on your flexibility. If your elbows can stack, then go ahead into eagle arms. You can just put the hands, back of the hands together or crisscross them. If you have troubles getting your elbows to cross, just give yourself a nice hug. And that'll work. And then when you're ready, again, engage that core, get that back nice and flush with the mat. And then no need to lift the head or anything. We're just going to slowly bring the knees in to meet the elbows. So the elbows are going to draw down. Inhale, you're going to come up. Only go as far as you can until you feel the low back start to lift. Exhale down. Inhale's up. Exhale down. One more. Inhale up. Exhale down. Come back to neutral. Still have the core engaged, low back flush against the mat. And this time we're going to let the arms start to come off to the left while the legs go off to the right a little bit. And do like a crunch off to the side. Inhale. Come back to neutral. Exhale over to the other side. Inhale up. Exhale over. Inhales up. Exhale over. One more on each side. Good. And then when you're ready, uncross everything nice and slow, knees into the chest. And rock it side to side. Good job. Put a smile on your face. And be here in the moment. Everything is good. Go ahead. This time we're going to take the, we'll start like we did before. We'll put the hands off into a T position. Go ahead, start to straighten one leg out and the other one up. And then slowly start to rotate them. Exhale, they're going to cross. Inhale, open up. Exhale, cross. Inhale, open. Nice and slow. Make sure, again, your core is engaged. Low back is on the mat. Try to relax through the face. And this time, we're going to want our left leg on top. Cross it on over and just bring the knees into the chest here for a nice stretch on the back side of the glute area. You can rock it side to side again if it feels good. Make sure you're breathing, relaxing through the face, the shoulders, especially the jaw. A lot of times, if you hold tension, you'll notice it start in the jaw. At least that's where I carry mine. And then when you're ready, we're going to, again, you can keep your knees just like this, or if you want, you can cross them into the eagle legs. I'm going to show you the other variation, just in case you're one of those that weren't that flexible. And then the left arm's going to go on the bottom. And same thing, you can just hug yourself here. If it's a little too complicated to go into the eagle arms, I'll always, again, just the backs of the hands can touch, or you can go into the full clasp. And then when you're ready, we're going to engage the core, so your low back's on the mat. And then start with the crunches. So exhale. Knees come into the elbows. As the elbows go down, inhale up. Exhale down. Inhales up. Moving with your breath. Again, your arms might be wrapped. One more. And then when you're ready, we're going to, again, make sure your core is still engaged. You haven't lost that focus. Bring the arms off to the left a little bit as your legs go out to the right and come in for a side crunch. Inhale, open up. Exhale over. Inhale up. Exhale over. Get moving with your breath. One more on each side. And then slowly start to unravel the legs and the arms, bringing the knees into the chest and rock it side to side. Nice massage on the low back again. Let the feet come together and go into the butterfly legs. Same thing as the gravity takes the legs down. Put your hands on top of the thighs and just start to lengthen through the spine. Take one more full breath. Where do you feel your breath? And send it down. A lot of times we breathe on the front line of our body. I'm going to have you take the time to focus the breath and send it to the back line of our body. To do that, you're going to put your hands right alongside your rib cage. And with your inhale, feel the rib cage expand. It's going to start to move out. With your exhale, the rib cage starts to come in. Keep the rib cage there now. Now with your next inhale, try to see if you can send the breath to the back. Exhale, release. Inhale, still engaging that core so the rib cage can't move. Let the breath go to the back. Feeling the rib cage expand on the back this time. Exhale, releasing. Once more. One full, complete breath. Exhale, release. Shake it out. Good. Bring the knees into the chest. And we're going to start to rock and roll it on up. Take your time to get there. Might need 2 or 3 rocks. Once we land, we're going to come on up to seated. Nice tall spine again. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, you're going to let the left hand go over to the right or the opposite knee. Straighten up through the spine, nice and tall. And then with your next exhale, push the hand into the leg to create more of a twist. Again, with your inhales, thinking about lengthening through the crown of the head. And with your exhale, maybe found a little bit more room for a deeper twist. Relaxing through that face again, one more breath. With your next inhale, come back to center, arms come up. Exhale, the right hand over now to the opposite leg. Nice tall spine again. Same thing with your inhales. You're drawing up from the crown of the head. And with your exhale, you're pushing the hand into the leg for a deeper twist. So anytime we twist, again, we want to come from the shoulder blades, that upper thoracic back rather than the low back. So when I twist, I think about whole spine and then twisting from my shoulders. So the right shoulder comes forward, the left one peels back. One more breath here. And then inhale, come on up. We're going to move with our breath. Exhale over to the other side. Inhales up. Exhale over. One more on each side. Inhale up. Exhale over. Inhales up. Exhale over. Good. From here, go ahead and pull yourself up into a tabletop. For tabletop, you always want your wrists underneath the shoulders. Push away from the mat with the arms and knees underneath the hips. And then it doesn't matter about the feet if you want them pointed or flexed, whatever feels more comfortable on the knees. We're going to start to do some flexion and extension in our spine. So go ahead, let the tailbone come up. The belly's going to drop down as the chest and chin comes up. You can stay here for a nice stretch. You can bring it into the side body by giving a little waddle or a little shake in the shoulders and the hips, just swaying it side to side. And then when you're ready with the exhale, the tailbone starts to draw down, belly comes into the spine. And let the head go down to gravity. And again, sometimes people just like staying still and being here. But if you feel like your back might need something else, again, bring it into the side body by pulling the maybe left hip away from that left shoulder. And then doing the same thing on the right side. As the right shoulder comes forward, the right hip peels back. Just taking the time to do some organic movements. And then when you're ready again, we're going to move with the breath. Inhale, come on up. Exhale down. Inhales up. Exhale down. Good. Come back to neutral. And like I said, for balance, we do a lot in our hips as well as the core. So go ahead. We're going to take the right leg out to the side, to the right side, and just start to waddle or rock the hips back and forth, feeling a nice stretch. Maybe you want to go a little bit deeper and go down or back. Again, go where it feels good. And then when you're ready to find stillness, you're going to suck that left hip in. As you suck the left hip in, notice how the weight changes in your hands. So go ahead, let the left hip go out. You're going to notice that you have more weight in that left hand. As your hip starts to suck in, the weight should be evenly distributed in your hands. That's what you want. So keep the weight even in your hands and keep that left hip sucked in towards midline. Once that's all sucked in, go ahead, try to lift that right leg. Now, for some, this might be next to impossible. This is where you can just bend it and lift it. So either one, if your leg is bent or if it is straight, we're going to move with our breath. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. 2 more. Again, keeping the core engaged, making sure your hips stay into midline. Good. This time, exhale, draw a line with the toes, send it to the back of the mat. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, send it back. Inhales up. You can drag the toe or you can keep it lifted. Just be mindful again, where is the weight in your hands and where is that bottom hip? Keep it to midline. Once more. Good. Come back to center. Child's pose here. Taking some weight off the wrist. If you want, you can roll it out. Rock back and forth on the hips. I'm taking the time again to breathe into the back line of your body. Feeling with your inhale, the rib cage expand on the back. With your next inhalation, you're going to go ahead and push on the hands and come on up. Keeping the knees on the ground, we're going to slowly, again, core is still engaged, exhale and come all the way down to the mat. Keeping the arms alongside your body, elbows tucked in here, pubic bone down. You're going to start to pull yourself forward. You're only going to move like maybe an inch or so. Once you pulled yourself forward, then start to come up for a baby cobra here. Again, shoulder blades are down the back, elbows tight in, pubic bone engaged. Stay here for one more breath. If you feel comfortable with your next inhale, push into the hands and come up for a full cobra. Feel a nice stretch. Notice where your shoulders are, creating that space from the ears. And then with your exhale, let the tailbone come up into another child's pose. Nice and slow. We're going to do that a little bit faster with our breath. That is going to be our today's vinyasa, which vinyasa is a word or a Sanskrit word meaning flow. So we're moving with our breath. And you'll come on up to that plank. Exhale, lower all the way down. And you'll slide yourself forward up for the baby cobra. Stay here with the exhale. Next inhale, pick yourself up. Full cobra. Exhale back down. Child's pose. Stay here for one more breath. And then slowly ground into the hands and come on up again. You might need to readjust your hands so that the wrists are underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Push away. This time we're going to take the left leg on out and off to the side. And same thing, just rock it back and forth, feeling a nice stretch in the hips. Making sure that you're not holding any tension in the jaw. Unless you're smiling, then you're okay. And then when you're ready, find that stillness. And pushing into the hands and away from the mat, notice where's the weight on your hands. Is it more to the right side? Your right hip might be coming out. Suck the right hip in, engage the core, and then start to lift up the leg. Now, if your hip moved a lot, this is just where you bend the knee to make it a little bit easier. Move with the breath. Exhale down. Inhales up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Good. 2 more. Engaging the core, sucking the hip in. Exhale, release down, sending that left leg all the way back. Again, we're going to draw a little half circle with our toes. Inhale, bring them up. Exhale, send it back. Inhales up. Exhale back. You can lift the leg if you want. Main thing again, try to keep the weight even, both hands, by keeping that right hip into midline. 1 more. Good. Send both knees down. Child's pose. Relax here. Breathe into the back line of the body. And slow your breath. When you're ready, pushing into the hands, we're going to go through our flow. Inhale, come on up. Modified plank. Exhale, engage the core and come all the way down, arms into the side body yet. Inhale, slide yourself forward, picking up for baby cobra. Stay here with the exhale. Inhale, push down into the pubic bone and up off the arms and come back. Exhale, child's pose. 1 more breath. Go ahead, pushing into the hands. Come on up for that modified plank. This time we're going to take the right leg and bring it on up to replace that right hand. Go ahead, let the hips start to come down as the chest comes up for a nice stretch. Now, if this is too much and you notice that you're sagging in the chest and can't lift it up, you can find blocks or books or something to bring the ground up to you. And then while this feels like a great stretch, I also want you to still activate rather than just hanging in our muscles. It's great when you can activate them. So think of your legs as scissors trying to come together. So you have this energy of pulling together here while your chest is still open and up. Sometimes you can just put your hands up here too. Find your breath. One more inhale. And with your exhale, start to straighten through that front leg into a half split, flexing through that front foot. Both hips are going to be equal and coming back here. You want your hips over that back knee. A lot of times I see students kind of sitting down on the back leg. Try to keep them up. And if you ever feel tension behind the back of that front knee, push into the heel a little bit. That makes it that active stretch again to help protect those joints. Or rather, the tendons, I should say. One more full breath here. And we're going to start to move with our breath. Inhale, come back up. Now if your hands are on the ground, keep them on the ground. And then with the right hand, lift it up for a nice twist here. Exhale, come back down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhales up. Exhale, send it back down. We're going to curl the back toes underneath and start to scoot our way up into standing splits. So the left leg starts to raise up, the head drops down. You can bend that bottom knee a little bit. And then with your exhale, slowly start to let the chest come up as the hips are going down. We're going to set up for warrior 3. Before you lift your hands up, just check your hips. See if they're level to the ground. And notice that right hip, if it's, again, coming out towards midline, try to suck it in as you start to lift up for warrior 3. Keeping your hands into midline, or if you want more of a challenge, you can reach them out. Engaging that core, sending the heel back as the arms reach out. Feeling the hip engaged as it's sucking in. And then to come out of it, we're going to go slowly, bending that standing leg. You're going to bring the arms up with the chest as the leg starts to come down, trying to keep your body one solid line. Once it comes up, sweep the leg through and bring it into a nice squeeze. And go ahead and release it. Slow and controlled. Roll it out. Good. From here, we're going to ground through our feet. Inhale, bring the arms all the way up. Exhale, forward fold into your own lap. Oh, this is our first one for the day, so really take your time here. You can bend the knees generously and just rock it side to side, letting the head and torso sway. Again, finding your breath. Pushing your hands into your shins, you're going to start to straighten and lengthen through that spine. Shoulder blades go down the back for a half lift. Exhale, forward fold. And then inhale, bend the knees, and we're going to come all the way up again. Nice big stretch. Hyper. Exhale, come back to the center. Good. One more time. Inhale, bring it all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands on the ground, feet go back into the plank. This is your choice now if you want to go into that downward dog or the child's pose. Whichever one you want to start from, we're going to go through a flow. Inhale, you're going to come on forward to the plank or modified plank. Engage that core and exhale, come down. Inhale, slide yourself forward for the baby cobra. Stay with the exhale. Inhale, push yourself all the way up. Full cobra. Exhale, back into the child's pose. Take one full breath here. Feeling the breath on the back of your rib cage expand. And with your next inhale, pushing into the hands, come on up. Left leg this time comes and replaces that left hand. Going into a nice stretch open up through the chest. And same thing, let's get our legs active by thinking scissor legs. Come and bring the legs together. You can just stay here or down on the ground. Maybe again you have those blocks. One more full inhale. And then with your exhale, again pushing into that left leg, flexing through the left foot, come into the half splits. So the hips are over that back knee. Heels pushing into the mat to keep the back line active while it stretches. Same thing, if it's hard to come to the mat and you really feel like you're rounding your back to get there, go ahead, get some support to bring your hands up. One more full breath. And then with your next inhale, bend that front leg, ground through that right hand. And then with your inhale, bring in that left one up. Nice spinal twist. Exhale, come back down to tap. Inhales up. Exhale down. Once more. Exhale down. Good. Grounding through the hands. Tuck the back toe underneath and start to scoot and shift your weight up to the front leg. From here, we're going to do that half split or the standing splits. So bring that right leg all the way up as much as you can. Again, we're not trying to open up through the hips. You want to try to keep them level, so it's not going to go as far here. Getting the toes to point down to the mat. When you're ready, bend that bottom leg and start to bring the chest up as the leg goes down. Again, take the time to notice where your hips are at, if they're stacked, or if you can try to keep them level to the ground while your hips sucking in to midline. Start to bring your chest up for Warrior 3. Again, trying to send the heel back to the back of the mat. Think of your little pinky toes reaching down. That just helps to keep your femur and everything in that midline, neutral hips. And then you can reach the arms out if you want. Keep them in. When you're ready, we're going to slowly start to lift up and send the leg all the way through for a nice stretch. Slow with your exhale, release the leg and roll out the ankles. That is a big balancer. A lot of work in the hips and the core. So don't feel bad if you wobbled or fell maybe. It's okay. You'll get there if you keep practicing. We're going to, again, move with our breath. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees this time and come into a chair. So kind of like what we did on the floor. I don't know if you remember when we were laying on our back, I wanted your low back to be flat against the mat. So go ahead, think of the core engaged. It's just going to round or hollow out a little bit to engage that, or to help with the low back so you're not hanging in it. So notice if I don't have an activation in my core, I just stay here, you'll see this big curve. When I activate my core, it starts to hollow out. That's what I want you to do. Notice your knees if they're coming forward. Beyond the toes, send the hips back a little bit or stand up. We're going to breathe here. And when you're ready, you're going to slowly start to pick up that right leg and see if you can bring it and cross it over. If you can, use your toe as a kickstand. That's fine. If you want to try again with the wrap, or maybe you just want to keep it up or wrap it, it does not matter. We're going to take the right hand and bring it underneath the left arm and go into the eagle wrap. So again, another little balancer. Staying here with the breath, shoulder blades going down the back as your arms start to reach up. Feeling a nice stretch on the top of the shoulders. And then when you're ready, slowly start to undo it. Inhale all the way up. Exhale for forward fold. Rock it out a little bit here. Taking some extra time. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Again, bend the knees generously and bring the hands and chest up for a chair. This time your weight's going to start to shift to the right and start to slowly pick up the left foot and cross it over. Again, you can use your toes as a kickstand here and just stay here. You can leave it lifted to work on your balance, or you can do the full cross. With your arms, if you choose to do the eagle arms with it, the left arm's going to go on the bottom and cross at the elbows again. Backs of the hands can be here or full cross. Whichever you do, make sure your shoulder blades stay down the back and then start to bring the elbows up. Again, you're going to feel a nice stretch on the back of your shoulders, or on the top and the backs of the shoulders. One more breath here. And then slowly undo it. Inhale all the way up, actively reaching. Exhale, forward fold. Rock it out here. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, come all the way up, high prayer. Exhale, back to the beginning. Now, I want you to slowly spread your legs out for a wide-legged stance. Make sure your feet are parallel to one another. And hands at the hips here. Really ground into the feet. And then from here, have that activation, that energy going up your legs, so they're active. And think of tearing your mat into two. That's going to help turn on your hips, the outer hip. With that, inhale, open up through the spine and the chest. Exhale, start to come down into the forward fold. Legs are still active here. You can let the hands start to drop down and walk them over to your right foot. That left hand is going to reach a little bit more as the left hip goes back. So I'm sending it in the opposition, kind of like someone's pulling me from the left hand and someone's pulling me from the left hip. You're going to feel a nice stretch on the side body. Breathe into that side body area with your inhale, feeling the rib cage expand on that side. And with your exhale, slowly come back to center. We're going to go over to the left foot. That right hand's going to reach a little bit more and send the right hip back for a nice stretch in opposition again. Same thing, take the time to guide the breath into the rib cage that is exposed. Nice big inhales. Full, complete exhales. One more time here. Relaxing through the face and the jaw. Slowly come back to center. I'm going to inhale, half lift. So straighten out the spine. Stay here with the exhale. Ground into your feet. Hands come to the hips. With your next inhale, come up, leading with the chest. Good. This next time, we're going to interlace the fingers behind our back, if you're able to. So it's going to look like this. It opens up the chest. If you're not, just keep your hands at your hips and get the elbows to come back. You can stay here with it. This is just a deeper stretch. So again, then active legs here. Reaching the arms or the hands down, opening up the chest with your exhale. You're going to start to glide down into the fold. And once you get there, you're going to peel your hands away from the low back and let them follow the gravity if they get far enough. Again, enjoying the stretch, finding your breath. With your next exhale, let the hands come down to the low back. Inhale, half lift. Stay here with the exhale. With your next inhale, come up, leading with the chest. Exhale, release. Inhale all the way up. With the arms, exhale. Have them come down to your hips. Slowly, you're going to come back to the front of the mat. We're going to go through one more vinyasa as your arms go up for the high lift, Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands come down, feet go back into the plank. Your choice again if you want downward dog or child's pose. You can stay in one of those poses, or if you like, go through your flow. Inhale. If you want to follow me, come up for the modified plank. Exhale, engage the core and come all the way down to the belly. Inhale, slide yourself forward and pick up for baby cobra. Stay with the exhale. Arms in by your side. Inhale, pick up for cobra. Exhale, back downward. Dog or child's pose. Breathe in here to the back line of your body again. Now, if you are in downward dog, go ahead and join us in child's pose. We're just going to bring into the side body again by letting your hands go off to the side of the mats. I'm going to do the right side, so my left arm's going to reach. Left hip goes back. Again, breathe into that left side of the rib cage. One more breath here. Slowly walk them to center. And come over to the left side of the mat. The right hand reaching a little bit more as the right hips go back. One more breath right into that rib cage that is exposed. Exhale, releasing any tension. Slowly come back to center. You can stay here, go through one more flow with me. Pushing into the hands, come on up. Modified plank. Exhale all the way down. Inhale, slide yourself forward, picking up for baby cobra. Arms into the side body, yet stay here for the exhale. Inhale, come on up for cobra. Exhale, come back down, child's pose. One more breath here. With your next inhale, pushing into your hands. Come back up to tabletop. We're just going to transition here, crossing at the ankles. Come into the seated position. You can come back to center of your mat. And then from here, nice, slow, and controlled. You can rock down, holding onto the knees. Or maybe we still want to engage that core and roll down vertebrae by vertebrae. Good. Bring the knees into the chest and just rock it side to side. And if happy baby is part of your practice, that's always a fun one too. You can grab a hold of the big toes or the outsides of the feet and just be playful with the legs. Put a smile on your face again, knowing that everything is all right in this moment. You can breathe and find gratitude for this time. Bring knees into the chest and slow and controlled, sending one leg out at a time for Shavasana. Now for Shavasana, if you're new to the practice, it's also called the corpse pose. So you let your legs open up and lay where they fall. The palms are generally face up to the ceiling, and the shoulder blades roll down your back so that you can be still for this moment. You're going to take one more full breath in, and with your exhale, releasing all the tension, telling the mind to be still. This is where you find peace, is after your practice. All the poses are to get you ready for meditation, to relax. So this is where I'm going to leave you in this full gratitude for each breath. You can watch the breath. Thank God for it. Well, I thank you again for watching. Go in peace. Namaste.